much. Those were wonderful stories. Hello, my friend. It's Dana. This is Words That Move Me. This is my dog, Wrist Roll. She is having her 1 hour pre-dinner zoomies / panic frenzy. Very, very excited dog. So let's get through this, shall we? Because the conversation that I am having today with my super duper, super special guest, Meg Lawson, is simply too good to not share, like right now. So I'll start with wins and tell you, ow, little one. Today, well, earlier this week, I am celebrating my 38th birthday, my friends, and it was fantastic. The day itself included a 6.5 hour drive from Phoenix, Arizona, with my partner in crime, Miss Riley Higgins, who crafted for me a playlist of every song I have ever created to, like made up a combo to, or done professional work to. This was a long playlist, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, wow, I've done 6 hours worth of work. That's awesome. Anyways, that was a really special thing that I would encourage you try on for yourself. Go down your memory lane of music. It was like a great way to spend the day thinking about myself and sharing some pretty funny stories of behind the scenes with Riley. That is what I'm celebrating, my friends. Now you go. What's going well in your world? I feel like when I look her in the face, I go cross-eyed to try to compensate for her interpupillary distance. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. She got me. She sucked me into the tractor beam of love. My baby. Oh, my sweet baby. Okay. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're winning. I'm winning because I'm staring Wrist Roll in the face, and I love her. Okay. Let's do this. Meg Lawson is an outstanding human being and a remarkable artist. She is a longtime friend and also a longtime fan of the podcast. I heard some stories for the first time in this episode, and we've been friends for years and years and years. So I know these stories will be new to you and inspiring. Okay, Riz wants to go, which means it is time to go. Enjoy the one and only Meg Lawson. Hey!
They made this beautiful matcha for me, so how can it not be featured? Rainbow coaster, sunflowers, all the hard work you've put into this.
Oh my God. Shall we start there? You're one of the few people that knows the saga of the bookshelves. I get a lot of compliments on the bookshelf. Welcome to Words That Move Me, by the way. Hi, we're in it. I get a lot of compliments on the bookshelf. And the true of it, as Megan knows, is that these bookshelves used to be black. I painted them. I wallpapered them. They were my therapy for how many hours? Also should mention I put Riley through it over here. She saw colors. Speaking of painting, she saw colors of me that most people don't get to see. I was so frustrated at this. Don't recommend the painting of the bookshelves. Actually, the painting was not the problem. It was the wallpapering.
But I honor your resilience in continuing until it was to your satisfaction.
And I do. I like it. I look at it and I'm proud. There's some cool stuff over there, and they're good looking.
Great job, Wills.
And I really appreciate that because I think your eye for interior design is like, mwah. I think you're very good at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, we should do a Words That Move Me Trading Spaces edition where we like walk through like a Words That Move Me meets Cribs.
I love.
Because it actually, to see how people live, here's what it really is. because people can like curate their homes and get their houses like to be their way. But I think you really get to see someone when you enter their hotel room and you see how they keep their, or where they, like how things come out and what they bring. And I think
Do you unpack your things?
Oh, yes.
They come out of the suitcase.
Yes.
Hang.
Yes.
Drawers.
I'm weird about that because I think
panties in stranger drawers.
Panties in stranger drawers is not a thing that I like to do. So I travel with my intimates in a little zipper baggie so that then I feel a little bit better about them going in there.
Yeah.
I use the drawers for dirty clothes. And I think that others probably do too, which is why I have a thing about don't put clean stuff in the drawers.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So now you know me. Megan Lawson, my dear friend and sister.
We're doing it again,
potting. But this time a solo episode. And in the video format. This is your first time here in the video format.
Yes. Is that's my camera?
That's
your camera.
That's me. You could use mine too, but you would have to lean quite uncomfortably. Just your little acorn.
Yeah, my tiny little pig.
Okay, so you know the drill. Introduce yourself. Anything you would like us to know about you.
Okay. Yes. First date style.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Woo, super uncomfortable.
Okay. Hi. I'm Megan. I've been Megan It Happened since 85. And
wow. How have I never heard that before?
It's new.
You'd get a second date
new.
automatically. Just
oh, goodness. I love a good laugh. I'm Canadian. I am a Scorpion. I am a Seaweed Sister.
yes.
Shout out.
It's like my favorite thing about myself.
I really love saying it. It's part of the introduction. It's important.
Yes.
I am a person that is curious and excited about the world. And I love to learn. I love to move my body and to be in nature and to do all of these things in great company.
Yeah.
That is me in a nutshell, I suppose.
God, that was gorgeous.
Okay.
That was, yes.
There's more to us, but those are maybe my highlights of this moment right now.
That was a gorgeous highlight reel.
Thanks.
I'm flattered to be included in it.
Absolutely. Good company.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
That is such an important piece of it. And I think we're very lucky to find ourselves in working atmospheres with people who are similar to liking the great company part. I don't find myself interfacing with a lot of assholes.
It's a make or break of many situations in a social situation, at work, and particularly play. If you're choosing who you're hanging with, right? Isn't it top 5 people are like reflections of you?
Oh, yeah.
That you spend your time with. That. And you're one of mine, for sure. What a treat.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Yep.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about, I think we will certainly talk about Seaweed Sister stuff because it's part of our DNA. But I want to talk about you pre-Seaweed Sisters, Canadian, making your way here, putting music videos on YouTube. I think...
music videos on YouTube.
Putting music videos, putting dance videos on YouTube. I don't know how. We were just having a conversation about music videos. I love Thankfully, there is music. Although, wait, are you loving or not this trend on Instagram where people will strip the audio off of something and then re-record like grunts and sneaker squeaks and things like this?
I've seen that.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny.
Oh my God.
It's always pretty funny.
Me. I love, there's an Elvis one that I watch when I'm sad because it's so funny. It's so funny. I will share a link to it.
Just really quickly, because I feel like the original one of those examples, maybe even Instagram. Have you ever seen the spoof on Total Eclipse of the Heart?
No. No.
They have redone all of the lyrics as well as those types of noises on top of it. But kept the same music video. It's incredible. It's fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
Highly recommend.
We'll share
show notes.
As people who love to laugh, that is so important that we include in our daily lives, like every 4 hours. Or maybe I could like replace the occasional caffeine beverage with one of those videos because it does it
will boost,
boosts me
your
up.
day. Yep.
This is coffee number 2 of the day.
Okay.
P.S. But usually I stop at 2. Anyways, where were we? YouTube music videos.
Yes, let's back it up.
so-
Queen of tangents, both of us. So we
Gosh,
really
this is gonna
gotta
be fun.
We gotta keep each other on track.
Yes. If a conversation was like a track, your and my conversations would be like a flower around the track. Because we're gonna go.
Here we
We're
go.
doing the track, but
we
we're
go.
gonna take some side pedals.
Indeed.
Okay, so moved here from Canada. Tell me about like that chapter of your Los Angeles experience.
Well, I am a very lucky Canadian in that my grandma was born in the States. So I actually was able to attain my green card through my familial tree.
Got it.
Rather than pursuing the visa side of things. But I know many Canadians that have gone through that and that you should have on and talk about that.
Yes.
Because it's important.
I also know we share a couple friends whom you have helped in their visa process, and they have mentioned to me, like, I mean, they know that I know and love you, but I have heard your name come up in the visa story as being a real hero and helpful to young dance types.
Very happy to sign letters because I know that's helpful if we've had a dance exchange, whether it's in class.
This is not an open invitation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like-
if there's a relationship and if there's person who you see as being a valuable asset
Absolutely.
to the landscape out here.
Yeah, very happy to support those international dreamers that want to come here, just like I did. Yeah.
The Paula Abdul tour has more than it's like 50% or more of them are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Billy. Yay, Billy.
Billy's from my hometown, Calgary, my home studio, Dance Spectrum, where it all began.
Knows how to train him.
I know.
Knows how to train him.
Yes. Shout out to our dance teacher, Wendy White.
Yes, Wendy. That's
Miss Wendy. I'm like Wendy Nelson. Now she's Wendy Nelson.
Okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
we'll have to do that sometime.
So that's where it started.
Okay.
Dance Spectrum. Small studio, tap jazz ballet.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Took a convention one time and realized, that's an option. Professional dance.
Huh.
Yes, please.
How about that?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Triple Threat Dance Convention was that real launch for me. Kelly Kono, Dory Kono, Carolina Lancaster. Also, shout out. This is going to be a lot of shout outs because
good.
I want to honor the people that have really helped me get here.
Yeah.
And those ladies really just nurtured, supported my kind of young artist, dancer dreams and had me assist. And I made a lot of connections and had a lot of practice with choreographers that lived in New York, in Los Angeles, in Atlanta, in Vancouver, people that were working on things that I was looking to work on. And that was it was encouraging and affirming to know, okay, I can do this.
That's an option
I feel
for
good
me
here. And so, there was a cruise ship here, a move to Vancouver, some shifts until I finally landed in Los Angeles. As it goes, it's never just a clean cut move sometimes, and it was humble beginnings. Let me tell you.
Yo, I ate animal crackers for meals.
Yeah.
In my first year in LA, humble beginnings is real.
Yeah.
Like,
it was tough.
yeah, that was tough. And it was even less expensive then than it is
true.
now.
Yes.
So, very glad to be sharing with the generation that is up and coming now and feeling like rooting for you guys, rooting for you eating animal crackers right now. Oh my God.
It gets better.
It does. It gets so
Keep
much
going.
better. I had the Los Angeles experience, which is open the animal cracker box and find a cockroach in there. Club 10. Club 10. You know the one on Morrison and Tahunga. No, thank you.
How did he even get in there? Okay.
Anyways, we're okay. Sorry, I don't know.
It's another pedal.
We went into that's a dark corner of a pedal. When you got here, were you teaching right away, auditioning, and how did you come to finding an early voice and relationship with YouTube that was like, I'm going to do what I want and put it on YouTube and see what happens.
Okay. Like, try and do the Coles notes of this. Yes, was taking class, was teaching at a studio in Valencia because they had available classes for me to teach younger students.
Yeah.
And so that was good practice for me to be making, to make some
And
money,
be on a schedule
to support
to
my classes
make.
that I wanted to take. Exactly, a schedule. And I met Matt Cady in Erica Sobel's class, and he invited me after the class. He said, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
I said, "I'm Megan. Who are you?" He said, "I'm Matt. You should
Yeah.
come take my class at Debbie Reynolds Monday, Wednesdays,
Yes.
8:30 to 10:30."
Twice weekly. I remember those days.
Exactly.
The twice weekly days.
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I went, and it was everything I'd been hoping to feel for that first class. I just really was ignited and inspired. And about a week or two later, he asked if I wanted to be part of America's Best Dance Crew.
Yes.
Audition as a crew that he was putting together.
Yes.
So that was how I met Matt. And we
And the
ended
birth
up
of Fanny Pack.
being on that show. And Matt and I were roommates in the hotel for many months. And we hardly knew each other, but became fast friends.
Yeah.
And also really bubbly collaborators,
Yeah.
right? We were really jiving when it came to musicality and humor
in
and
general,
taste.
yes.
Yes, including that in dance. And
Yeah.
of course, all of Fanny Pack. That was really part of what made us unique on that show.
Yes.
Was our narratives.
Yeah.
Within a 45-second dance.
Yes.
We're going to bring you a story.
Yeah,
front
right.
to back.
45 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was always bright, and it was always different, and it was always rambunctious and mischievous and like
And also a lot of moves, like
Yeah,
dance moves.
Yeah, dance.
And strength was also not our strength. We had one, Glenda, shout out Glenda Morales, because she was the only one who was like doing backflips. Whereas
and that show was really heavy on the trick
acrobatics
front.
and tricks and breaking and partnering.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't have a lot of that. So it was really musicality and formations and just getting
Story
down.
and characters and,
Yeah.
and 8 counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8. We ate counts
And
for
us.
breakfast. Oh. Okay, sorry, I just heard it.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was
oh.
right there for you.
After that show, Matt and I, we continued to collaborate and live together. We moved in together, and we made dances all the time.
Yeah.
And a combo that we made for class, we put on YouTube. It was really not for YouTube, but we put it up because we felt really good about it. And a couple months later, it made its way onto Madonna's computer, and she hired us from this YouTube music video.
The Rihanna one?
Yes, Rihanna Skin was
Yeah.
the song, and we just loved the song. And I remember we
Ooh, it's
It
good.
was
It's a certain
so-
kind of sexy that's a different kind of sexy. It's not like you've ever seen anything done to that song, which you've probably seen a lot of sexy dances to that song, and it's so not those. It's so different.
and it's difficult.
Yeah.
It is more than meets the eye, and she wanted us to come to New York and teach that combination to the auditioning dancers for the
Nice.
MDNA tour.
Okay.
To teach that exact combo for a week,
Amazing.
every day for 2
Something
hours.
that you made up for fun
absolutely
became your ticket entry to this camp and the actual material that you would be introduced with to the team.
It was not a submission. It was not. It had no real intention except for loving this track and
Yeah.
feeling a vibe one night, and it was it felt really natural. And I think the best things come from those sort of authentic moments when you're creating. Of course, goals and intentions also important.
Fine.
And we make
Yeah.
things with intention, goals all the time, but also to create because you love your company, your friend.
Yeah. And this song.
Yeah.
And this moment, we're like, why not?
And it was a moment. You know who was over? Shonique Sneed was over.
Yes.
We were having a glass of wine. We're like, you want to see? We're starting this dance.
Amazing.
And then Candace Brown, after a rehearsal, she made us film. She filmed it.
Yeah.
That's what's on YouTube is what Candace filmed on her little flip camera. It was all not contrived, not even going to go on the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that it did, because this started a relationship with of course, Matt, and with Madonna, and it changed my life, that clip.
Are you ready for our next pedal?
Let's go.
Are you ready for our next pedal? Viewer, listener? Lando Wilkins did something similar for the Seaweed Sisters. We created our first piece, which became Get Free, which is
for Alive, for stage.
Our namesake, and we created it for the Alive experience. Lando saw it, and he was like, that needs to be filmed. So I know, like, many of us are out there, like, trying to be the person who does the thing. But let this also be a reminder. You could be the fairy godmother to someone right now, and you could be the person that says, hey, I love that thing you made. Let me film it. Can I film it for you? That should be out there in the world.
Yes.
Because we've had fairy godmothers in our creative lives that have helped us get across that barrier. Because I mean, at that time, like, in those years, filming shit and putting it on YouTube was so cool. I remember I had a chip on my shoulder about it. Jillian and I remember would have conversations about, like, you know, we're purists. Dance should be experienced in the room, in the moment. Don't this YouTube thing, pa. I mean,
it'll come and go. Yeah. I don't know if we would have ever filmed that if Lando hadn't
said,
nudged and said, I'm going to hook you up with someone who can come over and you should film this at a pool. And I said, I got a pool.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And you're right. The power of that encouragement or that poke, just someone planting a seed and saying, hey, you're onto something.
Yeah.
Is, wow, it's invaluable.
We're so grateful for those people.
Yes.
And especially in retrospect, now we can see, like, oh, that one really had a high return. I've pooped out and shipped little things all over the place.
Sure.
And that's, of course, what it takes. You know, if you just make the one thing, then there's the one chance that the one lap or screen might see it. But when you're in the habit of producing, especially when there's a dry spell like the current one that arguably we're in, I think it's kind of a dry spell post writer's strike. I think TV and film has been a little bit slower to totally recover, and there's still our industry at large is recovering from the greater COVID of it all. But I think you and the Seaweed Sisters, us together, but you specifically in this story, are such a great example of making the shit that you want to be doing. Like, make the type of work that you want to be hired to make, and then maybe you'll get hired for it. I think it's such a beautiful idea.
And if you don't, you had a blast
making
the thing.
Exactly.
And you let it go without expectation on returns.
Yeah.
I think that mentality around it will release any expectation or judgment. We equate these things that we make with how many views, how many likes, how many comments. But do you love it? Like, did you love making it? Did you enjoy
it?
the
it's
company?
Such an important question.
Yeah.
It's such an important question.
Yeah. And young people, including us, by the way.
Yeah.
We're still developing our voice, our signature style, our
yeah.
brand. And it's hard to know who you are, what you like, until you start practicing making it and making those judgment calls. And that will also evolve and change over time.
Yes.
Thank goodness. What a treat. It would be so redundant if we just
got locked into being the one thing,
designed
forever.
The same thing all the time. Exactly. So asking yourself, could I push myself and do this one a little differently? Am I going to love that? And you'll never know until you try. So I'm in this season of kind of pushing. All right, what else? What else
Nice, Magoo.
could be And it's harder to do that, actually.
Okay.
It's harder to push rather than to phone it in and go like, I know how this is going to look and how this is going to go. I've done this before, and I know what I like.
Yep.
But I think I need to give myself some more credit, my taste, some broader strokes here.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think you've got impeccable taste.
Thanks, Wills.
Trust it all the way.
Thanks.
I'm curious, have you ever had a time, because you're saying I'm in this phase right now. Have you had one like it before where you were like trying to expand, trying to not do the thing that might be tried and true? Have you been in this phase before?
Well, let's bring it back to YouTube. And another kind of pivotal moment for me was another thing that I made with another friend, Jeff Mortensen.
Yes.
So funny.
Oh my gosh.
He was my next roommate after Matt.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So good. We were living together, and maybe it's just the convenience of having someone right there. You want to make a thing? Okay.
I'll tell you what, the convenience of having a dance space right over there.
Totally.
If I only made dance when I had booked studio space, I would have this much work to show for it.
Yeah.
The fact that I can do it here means I make more.
You're setting yourself up for success.
Yes.
So having a roommate that inspires you and that is down to work with you and you have, again, so much fun with.
Yes.
So Jeff and I, there were these stairs in Silver Lake that I'm giggling already because it's just younger self.
I know, but
We're so
good.
sweet. We're like, I have a vision.
Yes.
There's these stairs in Silver Lake with hedges on the side, and I love this song by Mumford & Sons.
Yes, Mumford & Sons.
It's so sweet. I was like, this song is so sweet, and I just think we could do something cool on the stairs. And Matt, Katie filmed it. We took a bunch of clips, and 8mm is an app on.
Yes.
Again. I loved it so much. We go through phases of all kinds of things, right?
Yes.
Reverse phase, 8mm phase,
15-second videos phase.
Sure. Or even just like now I'm making videos that are portrait style only. Now I'm back to landscape. It's all good.
Yeah.
And this was an experiment in editing for me. It was the first time we got a bunch of ideas and we filmed a bunch of clips and things that was more conceptual rather than like no dance break, no hot eights in this Mumford and Sons.
So left the opposite of the work you did with
opposite of sort of the class choreography piece. And I edited that for a long time because I didn't know how, and I wanted to open the skill set, and I also am very particular about how I want it, what bits were not cringe and what were a delight. And
were you improvising on the day, or was there a set?
A bit of both.
Okay.
We'd practiced on the stairs in our apartment.
Yes.
But we also, like, there was a few things and ideas, but mostly like, all right, now let's try this. So we were there for a few hours and doing that. And I questioned even putting it up. I thought, is this cheesy? Is this silly? Yeah. And then I just went for it and I put it on YouTube.
Yep.
And sure enough,
phone rings.
Same gal. It was Madonna again. And we'd already worked together, but in a guest choreography capacity. And a few years had gone by. It was in the middle of kind of albums, and I was invited to New York to have a meeting with her. First time kind of solo. And I sat on her living room floor with her, and she came in and she said, "Hello, Megan.
Hello, Madonna.
I've been watching your YouTube page and there's one clip that really spoke to me in regards to something that a project that she was taking on at the time, a film that she wanted to work on. She said, this duet, you and this fella, Jeff Mortensen.
This cherub. This angel sent from above.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. We love him.
She said, this is the tone, the feeling, the energy that I want for my two main characters in this film. She said, I just love it. I've watched it so many times. Would you, I don't know what you're doing next year, but would you
choreograph
sign
this
on
movie?
to choreograph for this? And I obviously flattered, delighted. This is something that I really enjoyed making, and it felt reflective of me and had no stereotypical dance. It was really feeling based. And that was a turning point in me trusting my delight in incorporating humanity in dance, because they are the same. And when someone says to me, I love that you're dancing, it doesn't look like dance. And you say, well, that's subjective. What's your idea of what dance is? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my
dictionary?
book that's titled "To Dance Is Human."
Oh, I love.
And
Perfect.
I agree. Dance is humanity, but there is dance, and I've been watching a lot of it in recent weeks here in the summer intensive months. That is, it doesn't feel human. It feels like machines and powerhouses and show ponies and
that's cool too. That
totally
has its own world as well.
Yes, and is impressive. My jaw was on. I was scraping it off the floor. I was moved. To say that I was not moved would be a lie. But yes, I think you and I both tend towards human, and specifically human emotions, work that's rooted in feeling versus demonstrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Well, it's so funny. Sometimes when I see students in class really pushing in one direction, I can feel it is to impress me. When I'm like, if you knew what impressed me, you would be practicing something else. And I do share that sometimes on, if that is your intention, because I see those eyes.
The side eyes. Yes.
Side
Are you
eyes,
watching?
and I'm like,
Did you see what I just did? What do you think about it?
Yes, I did see it. And in fact, like it is what I'm less interested in challenging you with in this class, because you've got that. I'm not impressed by what you already I'm impressed by someone who wants to be in class to learn and not just maybe showcase. I don't know. Where was I? Bring the pedal.
You agreed to do the thing. Of course, you were flattered because it meant that somebody saw and liked this and was encouraging you to lean into the humanity, the not so stereotypical choreography, but basically what we kind of are becoming to call dance theater, or less structured choreography,
right,
and more structured something else.
Yeah, familiar, tangible. Anyone can watch it and feel the magic of that. And what they don't know is that it takes a lot of skill to be that musical, or to make it look really effortless.
To be
and like
multiple,
anybody
to be in multiple places at once for the performer, which in this case was you and Jeff, but to be in a whimsical, emotional, thoughtful place, simultaneously a physical place. That's a craftsman. That's like the people who wind up doing those things are special. It's not
exactly.
It only looks easy.
That's right.
So go practice that in your class.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you never know where it's going to lead. And that project that didn't happen the next year. However, she said, I'm going to make that movie later, but I am going to go on tour. Do you want to be the supervising choreographer? Because we were already in the mix, and I'd never done that before. And then on the next tour, she said, hey, do you want to direct this one? So this relationship, and I honor that woman, because she has pushed me and offered me so much growth as an artist, as a person over the years, and given me opportunities that I just I don't even know if I was ready for those moments, but she knew that there would be support around me, including her big time, to get us there. And she saw something in both of these videos that said, like, I like what you're doing.
Yeah, I like your taste.
Yeah.
I like your flavor.
There we go.
Those two things. Let's go.
And you can lead a room. All right.
Yes.
And you can.
Okay, let's talk about that. How do you, if you had to explain the way you lead, how would you put it?
Oh. On a job, in class.
Let's say on a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because those do feel different.
You're like a wonderful tour guide, like my favorite tour guide I've ever had in class. That's what it is. She's like, no, if you look over here, you'll find this is delightful. And if you want, you can walk over that way. If you want to stay with the group, we're going to do this.
It's true. There are choices. Yes, there are options.
But
on a gig, there might be less options.
Less opportunity to get off the bus.
That's
Staying
right.
on the bus, and the bus is doing
That's
this.
right.
Yeah.
As a leader in a workspace, I like to be respectful to everyone, from the artists and the crew and the people in charge and
all other departments.
Yep. And communicative. I like to let people know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work for clarity and openness. Also, I am down to do 1,000 versions of something if that's what it takes and if that's what someone wants.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get it on the first one and then we do a few more and we land back on the first. But if there's the gift of time, if you have time to explore, to workshop, that's great. Mm-hmm. If we don't have much time, then I'm really happy to work quickly and efficiently. Mm-hmm. And that's time is money. It's important to also keep cool, keep calm, keep cool. Yeah. And get it done. But again, respectfully. And I think we can all do it with kindness. With kindness.
Yeah. And with laughter, maybe even.
Yes. There's always time.
I think I learned this from you, actually, and it might have come via a Madonna story, but I don't remember. This notion that, yes, sometimes the first version is the version, but you won't know it. You won't have proof. You won't have full confidence that it is until you've tried several others.
That's right.
And I really like that. I think because the last several gigs I've done have been more time constrained, the idea that comes first, I just tell myself, that's it. That's the one it's meant to be. And sometimes there's sometimes you just don't know until you've tried. So I needed this reminder. Several drafts is not only okay or expected in some camps, but sometimes it's simply the proof, the evidence that draft one is it.
That's right.
I like that.
Me too.
Is there anything you would tell your earlier self, like your first time working with Madonna self, something you really wish you had known then that you have learned since then?
With her particularly?
Sure.
In particular, my experience there. Yeah, I've shared this many a time. I think it is the practice of not being attached to that first version or to being too precious about something that you have made and loved that isn't right. So it is someone's opinion that doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And
oof, man, that does zing.
Yeah.
That's
not
and in
the
easy.
Beginning, it was for both Matt and I.
So painful.
We were scared that we lost the gig because of that. And I remember she said that, no, this isn't right at all. We made a dance that we'd worked 3 days on. And she said, nope, this isn't the vibe at all. And she said, brought another choreographer on to do that number.
And you thought that meant we're out of here.
Sorry about that. We just went with what we thought, right? And she said, oh no, it's okay. I just needed to see what it wasn't to know what I wanted it to be. Ooh, and I don't think that was the number for you. She said, lady. I want you to do the next number. I think that one's going to be more
how
your
was
style. Rad. Awesome.
Nice.
The song was called Gangbang.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And it was a moving motel room with the walls it moved side to side on the stage.
Ooh.
And Madonna was sitting on the bed, drinking a bottle of whiskey with an AK-47 behind the pillow.
Like you do. Uh-huh.
And there were
She's a riot.
intruders, right? She was
Nice.
under the bed. Lil Buck climbs up to get her, and she's singing, leaning on the pole. And then right before he gets her in the head, she turns and she gets him. And there's a fight scene.
Yo.
It was creating a movie scene with movement. And the whole thing moved, and people were coming down from the sky, flying.
Yeah.
And she'd get them up there. It was so violent and something you would never picture.
Put you there.
I know.
Yeah.
But when I tell
worked.
you, it was so fun to play her and present it to her and to do something so different.
Yeah.
But it was pure character and feeling based.
Which
and
you do
confidence.
understand.
And I loved that.
Yes.
There wasn't a dance break.
Yes.
There was staging and prop work and the timing of when people came in and how. So
and
it was
strong
building
motivation
a scene.
for everything. Everything very strongly motivated.
That's right. So I utilize those skills in any dance that I make because I don't think it needs to all be everybody moving in unison, like the break of it all. Mm-hmm. How about an acting break?
How about a break from that,
How about a
please?
break from the dance? And then what else? What can we say with just our head, our posture, our shoulder, the subtleties of all of that, she really jammed on. And again, that's been something I've learned so much from her, and to not be devastated when something doesn't work out.
When somebody says that doesn't work.
Okay, what didn't work for you? Or do you have a reference of something that you would like to see? Asking the questions so that you can make improvements immediately and not feel burned.
Yeah.
And then also knowing when to fight for certain things that
I was going to ask, do you have I like to have a checklist. If this and this and this, then I stay and fight. But if it's only one of those, then sure, yeah, go ahead, take this one. Do you have a protocol or a way of making that call?
my gut, my instinct.
Just tune in.
No, read the room and know if your fight is worth it.
Yeah.
If it is a worthy
Yeah.
fight. And also you can try. And if it still gets pushed back, you know that you tried.
Yep.
And you said your piece. And sometimes later you're like, see? And that's okay because we're all learning. Everybody's doing their best and trying to put forth their opinion. And we have all got different taste.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, who's in charge? They get the final call, ultimately.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't remember what pedal I wanted to pedal down next.
Which pedal? Yeah. Which loop-de-loop?
Oh, I've got to remember.
Bring it.
So I think subtlety is something you do very well. I would have never thought to cast you in the role of choreographer for anything that involves a gun.
I know.
But
this was co-choreographed with Matt Katie.
Okay.
I want to.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
That experience
that is so
was
important.
with Matt, and I was playing her, and he was so. I mean,
He's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
The fun that we had in going, what are we doing choreographing this? We just giggled our way through it, and then
I can imagine him trying to be a bad guy
so
motel
good.
burglar. So good at
Matt
it. He's so good.
Creme de la creme character work.
Oh my
always.
gosh.
Yeah.
Love you, boo. Coming for you. He needs to be in that chair for sure.
Yes, que.
Okay, so my question is, are there any other gigs that you have found yourself, actually I will tell you, Dominique Kelly was here earlier and we talked about you and he said, I think of Megan as being really good with hands. If there's hands. And I was like, yes, and handshakes. I think you're good. Is there something that you find people call you for it that surprises you? Where you're like, really? You think I'm that guy? Okay, sure.
I mean, probably a dozen handshake dances for commercials or a music video or something. You're so right.
Yep.
Yeah, something with the hands.
Hands.
The three weeds, we really enjoy a little
We love
tickle.
Hand tickle. Well, we all three love nuance. We all three love details. And we all three love communication.
Gesture.
Hello. I am rocked by how little communication happens on people's faces and in their hands these days.
Yeah.
I swear I went through a whole multiple hour shift at Nationals where nary an expression was made.
That's
Call
right.
it bored core. People look bored. And I have been, some people more expressive up here. And I've been giving the note lately after the very good advice from a vocal coach of mine. I was struggling to belly breathe. And she told me, put a face, like with your mind, put a face down here in your pelvis and then take a breath. And I did. And I was like, whoa, that? So lately I've been telling people to put faces on their hands. And communicate with your face hands. Use your hands like you would use your face. But that analogy doesn't work if people aren't good at using their faces to express. So I do. I think we three are good hands communicators and face communicators. I have gotten the note. Can you be less? Your face is just really. Can you just try to not? And that's it's hard to get notes about your face. Period.
Yes.
But do less. Then I was all in my head about
You're
it.
like, is the framing tight? I wish I'd known. Then I would have done
less.
less.
I will do less. But be deadpan is not something I'm able to do very well. Dance without expression, I'm bad at.
I mean,
it's hard. It's hard for me.
You are just exude joy and feeling
and face shapes.
Yeah, face
feelings.
Face feelings.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I love this about you. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Thank you. I'm glad I found my place where that is welcome and encouraged. With the Seaweed Sisters, we definitely have.
Oh, yeah.
We're leaning into all of the discovery of emotions at all times.
Yes.
Tiny girl. Are you one?
Tiny girl. Oh, she's like, mama. Oh, nice. Yeah. Quick little flash.
Okay.
Thank you, Dom.
Yeah.
Yes, I love a hand gesture. Just got back from Italy where I could just people watch all day. Yeah. The way that they express in their posture and face and hands.
Yes.
Be still, my heart, my communication, expression heart. One job comes to mind when you say,
really?
You want me for this? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. This was one of my favorite gigs. The director was Sam Brown, and it was
jump rope.
It was an AirPods commercial featuring master double Dutch artists.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Internationally, incredible. There are competitions, there's whole cultures and showcases, and we had a time, and I really learned so much. And in that case, again, it's not about dance eights. There are 8 counts.
Yeah. There's choreography.
Damien Gomez, he assisted me on this, and we really worked. Our crafting timing was important.
Yeah.
Because we went scene by scene, and it is very specific.
Yeah.
Sam goes in with a plan, and we execute that exact plan.
Yep.
And within that, we could play and bring versions. And again, it comes down to leadership and taste. And it's okay if I've never actually had any double Dutch experience. The artists that we hired did.
Right.
And they have not had any choreography experience in the sense of putting something like this together and how it all is stitched.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite jobs. We were in Mexico City and watching Sam work and these incredible artists that just are in there dancing while letting that rope skip under their feet. I'm sure people have seen this pop up on their gram. I hope they have, because it's
very impressive.
Very impressive. I am impressed by this.
I'm really impressed by that.
Yeah. And with feeling.
Yes.
And they're having a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiplicity.
Yeah. I think that one was an unexpected one.
Cool. Are you ready for final portion, since wrist roll is clearly decided that she's on her feet and ready to go?
Let's do it.
You ready for wrist roll with it?
Wrist roll with it. Okay.
Yeah. This is rapid fire burnout round. Ready?
I think so.
Okay. Just go with your, this is your daily practice of following your guts.
Okay. Yes.
We're going to start easy, and then we'll get a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Matcha.
Nice. Morning person, night person?
Morning.
Dog person, cat person?
Dog. But I do love cats.
I know.
But dogs.
Sneakers or sandals? Do you like that heels weren't even an option?
I know. I'm like, sandals?
Sandals.
That's so funny.
It's at the front of mind because I just threw away my croc flops because those fuckers have almost killed me now several times. I got rid of them.
I mean, my sneakers
Okay.
for some things, and I need my flip-flops.
How about in
for
Class A? Are you a socks or a
Class A?
sneakers?
I have a Morton's Neuroma on my right toe.
That's right.
So I
painful for you.
Would prefer to dance in bare feet always, but I wear. Oh, this is good because Apala socks, the compression socks.
Yes.
Shout out Apala, I love you. Apala makes like several different heights of socks, and they are the only socks I dance in because they help my pinched nerve to not hurt when I dance in them. So socks all the way. They also come in like some grippy and some slippery. So I have both depending on the floor, because all floors are not created equal.
And not all combos are created equal.
That's right.
On the needs of shifting weight quickly and things.
Exactly. Yeah. So sandals, sneakers, socks.
I love that. Yes.
How about that?
I recently played a game of this or that, and I was always like, is there another option? I don't think either of those.
That's okay.
Okay. Is there a move that you would delete from dance? Like you would never have to do it again, and you would never see someone do it again?
Oh my gosh. This one.
To the floor.
The
Patellar smash.
with the offering.
And the patella smash.
And then landing on the knee and probably rolling on your back. But it makes
Usually.
me so nervous and uncomfortable, and I don't think it needs to be done.
Ever?
No.
Ever.
And it's like a parallel stag. It's such
Yeah.
a strange move.
And it is always coming with
Always
this like,
emotional offering.
It's like simultaneously asking for help, but also like making a terrible claim. Like you, oh man, I don't know what it communicates.
What is it called? Does it have a name, this move? It can go.
It can go.
It doesn't need to happen.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
How about a move you really want to see more of?
How about just a pas de beret?
Yeah.
Pod.
I love 'em.
We're on the
A
pod.
pod
de
for pod.
beret.
Pas de beret. You know what? The
Pas
Seaweed
de
Sisters.
beret?
The Seaweed Sister. Come on. The Seaweed Sisters should have a spin-off podcast. It's called Pod de Beret because 1, 2, 3 is how many steps there are in a pas de beret.
Come on.
It's a pada, and we'll wear berets the whole time.
Adorable.
We'll just show up, let you know what's up, and then bid you adieu.
I love.
Okay.
Adieu.
Adieu to you, and you, and you. 3 again. Okay.
I know.
Good things in threes.
Yeah.
Do you have a default step? A step that you use a lot? Or default to, like...
I used to. I really love like a fan kick or an illusion. Like I know, and they're similar. One's like up, one's upside down.
Yep.
And one into the other. Whoa.
Gorgeous
Yes,
composition.
Full
Whoa, whoa.
360. That was always like something that felt like one of my tricks, and it was so easy and
Your
it felt
legs
so
go
luxurious.
up, Magoo. Your legs go up.
It's been a while. I wouldn't say that would be my go-to move.
Today.
Like at a wedding, if that's where I'm dancing. Yeah, probably. I actually really love to watch others.
Yes. And do their dance
and
afterwards.
like do whatever they're doing to them.
Do you know who else is really good at this?
I just love the way that the things people
That
choose.
normal people move.
Love normal people.
Yeah.
Yes, I really, really love.
Teresa Espinosa used to do that at an Olympic level. But she
I'm
would
sure.
do it without them noticing that that's what she was doing.
Yes.
You could dance for hours.
That's right. I'm not, and it's not mocking.
No,
Maybe
no.
maybe she did it in like
might
a
have been.
battle
Might have
type of form. I mean, she's so good. But it's not a mocking of this person.
It's like a game. Like, this is fun.
Or, nieces.
Yes.
Big
babies.
inspiration. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that move. What are you even doing? I want to try it.
What are the mechanics of that?
Yes.
Let me try.
So good.
Okay, is there a song that you think is just so good that you could never touch it, never choreograph to it ever?
A song that I love so much that I use for warm up, or I'll just play it. "Dance Tonight" by Lucy Pearl.
Ooh.
I don't think I ever need. I will always dance to it, but I don't think I will ever make up a dance
I love that
to
answer.
it. I love it so much.
I love that answer.
It's like feels like home. That song.
Good one.
Yeah.
What about an album that you would listen to, bring with you on a, like, that you're going to be stranded on the island, so you bring it with you?
Probably like Sade, Lovers Rock.
Yeah.
On my own little island rock.
We'll call the island Lovers Rock.
I'm like, or Dance Apocalypse.
Janelle Monáe.
Arcandroid.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite
Oh
albums
my God,
of
it's
all
so
time.
good.
And that has range. So that would maybe be a bit
nice.
more.
That's wise.
Some upbeat moments
That's
for
wise.
the solo time on the island.
Love that. Okay, final question. You ready for it?
Bring it.
What are the words that move you? A mantra, guiding principle, haiku, or just words?
Yeah, one day at a time. I take great comfort and encouragement, forward momentum with one day at a time.
Oh, I love that thought. Thank you for this reminder also.
Yeah.
Because in
It's
the
all we've
midst
got.
of the summer moments right now, it can be easy for me to think of like the summer. But when I think about today's awesome.
That's right.
Tomorrow, gonna be awesome.
It's also
next day-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
All we have is now. And so, yes, plan ahead, think about it, but mostly feel about
Right now.
what is the next thing. One day. It'll all unfold as it will. Yeah.
Thank you, my lady.
Yeah.
Needed that reminder and love and cherish you so much. Those were wonderful stories. Those were wonderful stories, some of which I was hearing for the first time. Which means I know you'll be hearing them for the first time. So thank you for coming.
My pleasure, Will.
For
Thanks
sharing
for having
your
me.
light. You sparkle, and I'm so grateful to call you my sister.
A treat.
And a delight.
Yes.
You also are a treat and delight. Thank you for being here, listening, watching. Get out there into the world, keep it funky, and also subscribe, smash the likes, leave a review or rating, and I'll be back later. This podcast was produced by me with the help of many. Big love to our executive assistant and editor, Riley Higgins. Our communications manager is Ori Valladares. Our music is by Max Winnie. Logo and brand design by Bree Reitz. Thumbnails and marketing by Fiona Small. You can make your tax-deductible donations to Words That Move Me, thanks to our fiscal sponsor, the Dance Resource Center. And also, many thanks to you. I'm so glad you're here, and if you're digging the pod, please share it. Leave a review and rating. And if you want to coach with me and the many marvelous members of the Words That Move Me community, visit wordsthatmoveme.com. If you're simply curious to know more about me and the work I do outside of this podcast, visit thedanawilson.com.